It's the Merry Farfisa Halloween Special! Listen, if you dare.
What song does a star sing when it's all by itself? What sound does a comet make when it's flying around? And did you know that the sun enjoys playing the drums? And did you know that the moon has a favorite tune? You might think that outer space is a quiet place, but there's a melody in all that astronomy. Well, I roam through galaxies looking for sounds that interest me. There's too many to mention if I just pay attention. Songs and sounds, music and noise can be as much fun as a box full of toys. Songs and sounds, music and noise, I'll catch them all with my lasso and bring them to you. I'm Mary Farfisa.
There are some hours late at night when the house seems to move with secret industry. There are creaks and rustles and the occasional odd groan. And on these nights, space seems that much darker than usual. The distance between the stars seems that much further. And the loneliness between the planets seems that much more frightening and vast. It was on just such a night, with Halloween approaching, that Mary sat awake at her desk, though it was long past her usual bedtime. She could not sleep. The covers and pillows all seemed the wrong shape. Her room was warm, and still she felt cold. And there was a rustling, somewhere at the edge of Mary's thoughts, a silent but persistent scratching, as if something was trying to get in.
Oh, it's just the new Halloween ringtones I downloaded for my helmet radio this morning. Someone's calling me. Those ringtones sounded so funny during the daytime, but they're pretty scary at night when I'm all alone in my room. I should answer, but who would be calling me so late? Hello?
Is this Mary Farfisa,
Yes?
the audio wrangler?
Yes?
Someone who hunts and captures songs, and sounds, and music, and noise?
Yes, but I don't really hunt or capture them. I look for them and recover them, and I bring them to a place called the Listener's Library, so anyone who wants to...
I need you to capture a song for me.
There is something mesmerizing about the faceless voice on the other end of the call. Mary listens. The mysterious caller tells her that there is a song that was sung long ago on the planet Tetanus, in a village called Spider's Peak. He wants her to get that song for him. He tells her that the planet Tetanus is not far away from where she is right now.
But you will have to leave right away,
The voice says.
because a mist covers the planet, and that mist can only be penetrated by outsiders at certain, very specific times. One of those times is now.
I usually bring the sounds and songs I catch to the listener's library,
says Mary.
If you capture this song for me, I will donate a chimesaur to your listener's library. A chimesaur is quite rare, you know, and lovely to listen to.
A chimesaur? A dinosaur with bells growing all up and down its back? I've heard the chief listener talk about them. He wasn't even sure if they were real or not.
They are real, and your chief listener will have one of his own if you leave now and get this song for me.
What kind of song is it?
My servant will answer your questions and accompany you to Tetanus.
Where will I meet your servant?
He is inside the necklace you are wearing.
What? What necklace?
Mary looked down and saw that a very old-looking necklace was hanging around her neck. A bell-shaped pendant hung from it. And from inside the pendant, 2 small red eyes were looking back at her.
This is my servant Glitch. He will assist you from here.
But how?
How is not important. Go with Glitch to the planet Tetanus. Capture the song, give it to Glitch, and he will bring it to me.
There was nothing more from the mysterious caller. The connection had gone dead.
Rouse your space horse,
Said the little creature inside the pendant.
we must leave at once.
Mary did as she was told. Some part of her knew that things were not right, but she couldn't quite form that thought in her head.
You know, Mary, taking a job like this is really a little strange.
But Briscoe, think how happy the chief listener will be when a real chimesaur is donated to the listener's library.
Strangers don't always do what they say they will, Mary.
My master will keep his word.
Glitch said from inside the pendant.
He takes contracts quite seriously.
All right, fine. We're due for an adventure anyway. And there's the planet Tetanus up ahead. That strange mist over it. It's like a shroud. It's sort of creepy.
An atmospheric effect. Nothing to worry about.
Said Glitch. And with that, the little creature emerged from the pendant and crawled down Mary's arm and onto Briscoe's purple mane. Mary gasped. Glitch looked like a spiky little bug with a sour face and spindly praying mantis arms. He wore a black robe, tied at the waist with a chain. Briscoe whispered to Mary through her helmet radio.
There's something creepy about this Glitch, too, Mary.
He does look like a nasty little bug, but we always try not to judge other space travelers by their appearance, don't we?
Touche, but still.
They were soaring downwards into that weird, worrying mist above the planet Tetanus.
We'll be above Spider's Beak once we clear the mist. Don't land in the village. There's forest just to the west of it.
They entered the mist, and everything turned the color of smoke around them. At last they passed through it into clouds, and the clouds grew darker as they descended. Briscoe had to swoop now and then to avoid sporadic flashes of lightning. As they dropped to the planet's surface, Mary saw a harsh landscape of jagged trees and steep mountains, and in the distance, the village of Spider's Beak.
Ah, there! Land amongst those trees.
Well, here we are in the forest above Spider's Beak. I don't know why we couldn't have just landed in the village.
Say nothing of the song to anyone in Spider's Beak. You are only a traveler who got lost on the way to Ratsbarrow.
Briscoe, I think there's more going on here than Glitch or his master have told us.
Two also thinks, trust not, possibly.
Briscoe, what's wrong? You're talking funny.
Miss, the something about that not agreed badly with me.
Briscoe, you sound awful. Glitch, I don't think Briscoe is feeling well. And I think you know things about this planet that you should have told us before bringing us here.
Mary was startled when the little creature turned sharply toward her and said,
I'll tell you what you need to know to get the song and nothing more. The space horse is confused by the mist, that's all. It's temporary. You want him to fly us back? Right now? Does he sound like he's ready to fly up and navigate space again?
Briscoe, can you fly us back?
Can't fly right now.
You see? He'll be fine once the mist is out of his lungs.
And so they followed the road toward Spider's Peak. The road was treacherous. Where it was slick as the tongue of a worm. And where it was rocky, it was like walking on the tips of spears. Briscoe labored silently to carry them safely down. After a while, they passed some dark and withered barns, and then Spider's Peak was ahead of them rather than beneath.
I'm very tired. I can't stay awake much longer. I hadn't gotten to sleep before your master called.
You can get a room and sleep in Spider's Peak. You're no good to me exhausted. And call no attention to me while you're among them.
And Glitch crawled back into the pendant. Spider's Peak was a village of half-empty shops with shuttered windows, a cheerless tavern, and a mournful village square. There were strange symbols painted on the walls. A clock on a high tower had numbers, but no hands, as if the village was frozen in one eternal, silent moment. The few people they saw looked at Mary and Briscoe with unconcealed contempt. They offered no greetings, only disapproving mutters as they passed. There was a group of darkly clad horsemen lined up by a watering trough. They watched without comment as Mary guided Briscoe toward the trough, where he drank from its cold water. The horsemen looked like soldiers or guards. They flanked the long, crumbling wall of a blacksmith's shop. Mary was afraid to speak to them, but she was just tired enough to ask,
I beg your pardon, but is there a place where I might get a meal and a room to stay in for the night?
But before an answer could be given, Mary saw something. Something on the face of that crumbling wall that startled her.
Briscoe, did you see that? There was a shadow on that wall, but it wasn't really on the wall. It was more like inside it. I heard it too. It was like a beating of huge wings.
The riders looked at her intently. They saw that she was frightened, and they seemed amused by it.
Here's a girl that talks to her horse.
The other horsemen laughed, but there was no gaiety in the sound.
I'm heading to Ratsparrow, but I've lost my way. I'm very tired. I'd like a room to sleep in for the night, and then I'll be on my way.
The horsemen glowered at her from beneath their hoods. One of them pointed with a gloved hand to an inn on the other side of the square.
One night.
The horseman said. Then all the horsemen wheeled about and left her and Briscoe at the trough.
How unfriendly they are, Briscoe. And that thing in the wall. What was it? Like the shadow of a great eagle. Briscoe, are you pretending to be an ordinary horse? It's okay, just talk to me through my helmet. Briscoe, you've never made horse noises. You always say they're uncivilized. And you always say that one is the worst of all. Briscoe! Briscoe, what's wrong with you? Talk to me. Why won't you talk to me?
Secure a room at the inn and stop making a scene. That was the village soldiers you just got the attention of. They're very hostile to strangers, as you may well find out. Secure a room and I'll tell you more.
A surly innkeeper agreed to give Mary a room for the night, but he insisted that Briscoe stay in the barn. As the innkeeper led her up the creaking stairs, Mary saw it again, a vague but powerful shadow moving behind the wall. She heard a muffled beating of wings and a terrible, insistent scratching.
What is that? in the walls.
Rats. The inn is full of them. They don't have rats where you come from?
Mary found herself in a cramped, dusty room. The same strange symbols she'd seen on all the other walls in Spider's Beak were scrawled on the walls of this room, too. Glitch came out of the necklace again. Mary confronted him.
We have to go back. Something's wrong with Briscoe. He really can't talk. And I looked at his hooves. They're usually all shiny, like metal, because he has hoof jets. But now they're just like the hooves of any old horse.
Tetanus has old ways. It reshapes whatever comes here to suit those ways.
You didn't tell us that when you asked us to come here.
Ha! Because you wouldn't have come.
That's awful. I want to leave right now.
How would you leave? On a space horse that doesn't even know that he can fly? You're here, and you're going to get that song for my master. When we have the song, my master will remove us from tetanus, and your horse will be himself again.
You're horrible.
I am indeed. Remember that if you have any notion of disobeying me. Now, I have business in the village. Information to gather about the song's whereabouts. Stay in this room and rest while you can. In the morning, we hunt the song.
And with that, the horrid Glitch vanished, leaving a trail of inky vapor behind him. Mary looked forlornly around her. She wanted to be free of this place of gloom and danger. The shadowy creature in the walls started its beating and scratching.
Oh no. What have I gotten us into? I know. I'll call Handyman Hal on my helmet radio. Maybe he can come get us.
Mary tried, but it was no good. The call connected, but she could barely hear Handyman Hal's voice, and he could not hear her at all. And the beating of wings and the terrible scratching in the walls was growing louder.
This is frightening. How can I stay in this room with this eagle in the walls? Briscoe? Are you in here? I'm so sorry you have to sleep in the barn. They won't let me bring you inside. Oh, poor Briscoe. Don't worry. I'll get the song and get us out of here, and you'll be back to normal and remember who you are, and we'll get back to you know, back to that house we came from. Oh, I'm so tired. I need to sleep for a while. Move over. I'm just going to lie down.
There you are. I told you to stay in the room.
It's morning? But it's so dark out.
Oh, you forgot to bring your sunshine and rainbows to tetanus, did you? Get up. We can't waste the morning. The villagers are stronger at night.
Mary noticed that Glitch was limping and bruised.
You're hurt. Did the villagers do that to you?
Who else? But some of them look no better than I this morning. And I found things out about where the song is, despite their tender resistance.
Why are they so unfriendly?
Why? Because they don't want us to get the song we've come for. Haven't you figured that out? It's here, and they want it to stay here. And oh, they'll be much more than unfriendly to anyone who tries to take it. So do your job, and do it well, and quick.
The injured Glitch returned to the necklace around Mary's neck. She listened reluctantly to Glitch's hissings as they moved on into the forest outside the town. Mary didn't realize it, but she was changing too. Perhaps it was her big, round, radiophonic and space helmet that was keeping Mary from being changed as quickly as Briscoe. But her sparkly cowboy boots looked worn and flecked with mud, and her bouncy white dress was damp with mist and clung cold and rumpled to her legs. They approached a place where the road forked three ways. Glitch peered out from inside the necklace. There were two women in black frocks and tall pointed hats standing by the roadside.
They look like witches.
Oh, why do you think that would be?
Leaving us so soon, little lady?
I am. It's plain that I'm not welcome here.
I won't say otherwise. You'll be better off in Ratsbarrow. Visitors don't fare well here.
Ye go that way, girl. Up ahead, the road forks 3 ways. Take the fork to the left. That will get ye to Ratsbarrow. The middle road is a tunnel of thorns, going straight to a cliff. The fork to the right leads to a fire in the woods that burns and never stops.
All right, I'll do that.
Go to the left, and ye'll be in Ratsboro before night. Don't come see us again.
Don't worry, I won't.
You've a cold heart, woman. You put her on the path where the beast walks.
Aye, and let the beast have her. We all know she's here for the song, just like the other one.
They were lying. There's no way out of any of these 3 paths. Ratsbarrow is back through town in the other direction.
Then why are we...
Because the song is somewhere out here. Find it and fast. But be on your guard. They don't intend for you to get out of these woods alive. I gotta rest now. They've injured me more than I thought.
Briscoe, please try to wake up. It's very scary here. I don't want to be alone. These woods are so dark and twisted and thick, and Glitch says there's something dangerous here. And everything just feels so wrong. Oh, it's only my helmet radio. Maybe it's Handyman How trying to call me back. Hello? Hello?
Is there anyone there?
Hello? It's no use. He can't hear me. Oh no! That was no ringtone.
Mary turned and looked at the bleak, rain-soaked path behind them. She only caught a glimpse of it, but that was enough. She saw a beast on the path behind them, walking on all fours like a wolf. She saw strange oval eyes, sharp teeth, and weird clacking mandibles. The beast saw her too, and with a fierce growl, he charged toward them.
Run, Briscoe!
Briscoe ran. The path grew steep and treacherous. Briscoe would falter, and then the beast would gain on them. The beast was persistent. It streaked after them. It was just a matter of time before the beast would close the gap again. But just then, a weird voice spoke to Mary.
Just around the bend, to the right, there's a cave. Turn sharply into it. You're almost there. Now! Turn to the right! Now! Turn!
Turn, Briscoe!
Shouted Mary. Though they were going so fast, she could not see if there really was a cave's mouth there or not. But there was. A narrow opening hidden by roots and branches and fallen leaves. They crashed into the cave. Mary heard the beast charge past. She looked around them. They were in a wet, gloomy cave. And floating above them in green milky light was a spectral girl. Her skin was pale. It was the color of bone. There was a dryness to the girl that made her seem as if she could disintegrate and vanish with the next strong wind. Only her milky eyes had substance, as if they were 2 last pale drops of what had once been a vibrant, living child.
Thank you for helping us.
The girl said nothing.
Who are you?
I'm not really sure anymore. I've forgotten. This place has taken all my memories. I do remember that I used to live somewhere else. Somewhere out in the stars.
You lived in space?
What is space?
It's where all the stars are. Space. There are planets and moons and stars there.
I don't recall. I might have lived in a place like that.
Well, space is where I come from. But it's funny. It's hard for me to remember what space is like now, too. It all seems so far away. It's this planet. It's this village. It's taking my memories, too.
All you have to remember is the song we came for. The song and how to catch it.
What are you holding in your hand?
It's a rope. I used to catch things in it, but what was it I caught? I don't recall. Was it sheep? No, it was something rather more like birds, but not birds.
Was it songs?
Yes, it was songs. I caught songs in my rope. But that's rather silly, isn't it? How could anyone catch songs with a rope?
Tis the beast. There it is, at the mouth of the cave.
There's a second opening in the back of the cave. Flee through that. You'll find a narrow trail. It'll take you to the place where the road forks 3 ways. Flee back toward the village. The 3 paths all lead to ruin.
Come on, Briscoe, let's go.
Back to your cold woods, you violent creature. Come to pick my bones. There's nothing left of them. Just as there's nothing left of me. Crude creature with your fangs and drool.
Soon, Mary found herself back at the place where the road forked 3 ways. She was determined to leave all 3 paths behind and abandon the search for the song. She'd go back through the village of Spider's Beak and take her chances there. Except, when she looked down the road, she saw the horseman riding hard towards her.
There's the girl.
The injured Glitch peeked out from inside the pendant. He had guessed her plan.
It's too late for that. You can't go back through the village. You see? The horsemen are coming for you. You'll never get past them.
Glitch was right. So Mary formed a new plan. She wheeled Briscoe around toward the second of the 3 paths.
Briscoe, this way.
What are you doing? Don't go down the middle path. It's a long tunnel of thorns leading to a high cliff. They'll chase us over the end of it, and we'll be dashed on the rocks below. Go back on the left fork where we were and take your chances with the beast.
Be quiet, Glitch. I've had my fill of this planet. Briscoe and I are leaving right now. Come on, Briscoe, run!
And Briscoe wheeled around and entered the middle path that led to the cliff.
Get her! Come on!
So Briscoe ran, with the horsemen charging into the second path after them.
Run, Briscoe!
They'll chase us down till we're forced off the cliff and onto the rocks below.
That's not going to happen because Briscoe can fly.
He can't fly. He can't even talk. He's been on tetanus too long. He's fallen under the spell of the place.
Briscoe and I were never supposed to leave here, were we? Once I caught the song, you were going to take it and just leave us here, weren't you? So Briscoe could just become an ordinary horse and I could become a ghost, like that poor girl in the woods.
That girl. She failed to catch the song for us too, just like you. Tell your horse to stop running. We won't survive going over that cliff. Your horse has forgotten how to fly.
Well, you better hope he remembers how to fly because we're all going over that cliff.
The horsemen were thundering down the path, right behind them.
The path is getting narrower.
Briscoe, you'll remember, won't you?
The cliff won't be far ahead. Stop!
You remember me, don't you? It's me, Mary. Mary. Well, just Mary.
You see? You've forgotten your own name. How do you expect a horse to remember how to fly?
Briscoe, stop that. You're not a horse. You're a space horse. You can talk and you can fly.
Oh, he's gonna fly us straight down into the rocks if we go over that cliff.
Briscoe, don't you remember me? I'm your friend, Mary. Talk to me.
I can't.
Why not?
Because, well, horses can't talk.
But you are talking because you're a space horse.
Oh, I don't remember anything. Who are you?
I'm I can't remember my last name, but I need you to remember me.
I can't.
I'm Mary. I'm a girl. I'm an 8-year-old space girl, and I roam through galaxies, looking for sounds that interest me.
That does sound familiar.
It's no good! You have to turn back!
And you fly me through space. We look for songs and sounds, music and noise.
Yes?
Songs, sounds, music, and noise. I'll catch them all in my lasso
Yes?
We're at the edge! Stop!
and bring them to you. I'm Mary.
Mary Farfisa,
I'm Mary Farfisa, and you're Briscoe.
the space horse.
We're going over!
Briscoe, you have to fly.
In the coolness of outer space, just above the weird mist around the planet Tetanus, a strange vehicle appeared. It is a vehicle that resembles a toolbox. It is the home and headquarters of the amazing Handyman Howe and his assistant, Jane Sarah.
Handyman Howe. I see them. They just left the surface of the planet.
So Mary Farfisa did try to call me from Tetanus last night. I thought that was her. What possessed her to go to such a wretched place? That's odd. Look how badly Briscoe is flying, weaving about, faltering. He's quite unsteady. Jane Sarah, let's swing the toolbox over to them and see if they're all right.
Handyman Howe and Jane Sarah pick Mary and Briscoe up in the toolbox and bring them right to their front door.
Mary, that was quite a story. I'm sure your visit to Spider's Beak was very upsetting. But here you are, safe and sound again on the front porch of your inflatable house.
Upsetting is right. And I'm still not quite myself. Oh, how uncivilized. I'm going to go inside and listen to old records till I feel better. Good night. Oh, disgusting.
Mary, Handyman Howe, and Jane Sarah stand on Mary's front steps and talk.
Once again, Mary, you've done an admirable job of handling a difficult situation.
I still think she's overrated, but good job, Mary.
Thanks, Jane Sarah.
Where are we? I think I fainted,
said Glitch, as he crawled unsteadily out of the necklace.
As for this little fiend...
Now, wait. I was just following orders.
I've heard that before.
Uh-oh, the sonic fly swatter.
I'm leaving.
I did some research on the planet Tetanus on the way here, Mary Farfisa. It's classified as a haunted planet, and that village you were in is full of sorcerers and witches.
And what was that thing I saw behind the walls there? The eagle in the wall.
It was no eagle, Mary. It was a monster. A sinister, ancient creature that the people of Spider's Beak summoned long ago. The wicked creature they summoned was too terrible even for them to bear. They could not send it back to its own realm. They could only imprison it with dark magic inside the walls of their wretched village.
That song Glitch wanted for his master was the song that summoned that monster, Mary.
What? But why would Glitch's master have wanted that song if it called forth such a terrible monster?
There are beings out there, Mary, in the darkest portions of space, who are simply evil. And they sense the presence of a greater evil, and they yearn to call to it. Glitch's master would have called that monster forth and released it into the cosmos, just as the witches of Spiderspeak had done ages ago. The people of Spiderspeak bear the burden of keeping that monster from breaking out from behind their walls.
What would have happened if Glitch's master had gotten that song and used it, Handyman How?
It's too terrible to even think about, Mary.
Handyman How, you're sort of scaring me.
Oh, I suppose I am. But after all, it is Halloween.
Hey, that's right.
No better time for a shiver up the spine, is there, than Halloween. The important thing is, you're away from that scary place and safe and sound at the inflatable house again.
That's true. And Briscoe is going to be his old self again, and everything is going to be okay.
Exactly.
Handyman How, we have to go. We're needed on a Wambamaluma.
Yes, one Mickey Dot Jane Sarah.
I like Halloween. Are you going to trick or treat this year, Jane Sarah?
Why, of course I am, Mary. I'm going to put a fishbowl on my head and go as a chirpy little space girl.
Hey!
Just kidding. See you later, Mary Farfisa.
Bye, Jane Sarah. Bye, Handyman How.
Goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to The Eagle in the Wall, the Mary Farfisa Halloween special, written and produced by Jim Sheff. Kara Albach starred as Mary Farfisa. Jim Sheff played Briscoe the Space Horse. Bill Culbertson was our narrator. Frank Furtado played Glitch and Glitch's master. James Hassapis appeared as Handyman How. Katie King was Jane Sarah. Miranda Marie played the Ghost Wrangler and a witch. Elisa Ashley played the other witch. And Kevin Fell was the evil horseman.
Mary Farfisa and today's Mary Farfisa's Outer Space Radio Theater Adventure are copyright 2017 by Jim Sheff, all rights reserved.